Let me say this to you and through you to our viewers as well, that the civil aviation sector in India has experienced a V-shaped recovery from a status of having our planes just sitting on the ground on the tarmac to today all being in the air. From a period of pre-COVID where we had a high of roughly about 4.1 passengers per day. This week, we have breached that number. We had 4.28 lakh passengers per day. We've surpassed 4 lakhs for 3 or 4 days in a row in this past week. And that indeed is a very heartening sign for the sector. But having said that, it brings with it issues of logistics, issues of operations. In between the value chain of passengers who are desirous of travel, as well as airlines who are very eager to provide that service, sits the airport. The airport's responsibility to ensure that it provides a seamless, efficient process by which the customers can get to the aircraft and complete their journey. Now, obviously, no one had anticipated the level of travel this festive season as has been played out. That being said, I very firmly believe that it is the airport operator's responsibility to provide that service, which is why on the 7th of this month, I held a meeting in the ministry with all the airport operators, very clearly articulating the pain points, and we tried to evolve some solutions. Now, let me give you an example of that. Delhi Airport has a total of 14 gates for passengers and 2 gates for crew and our specially abled. We insisted that by the 12th of December, that must increase to 16 gates for passengers and 2 gates maintained for our crew and specially abled. I'm glad to report to you that on the 12th of December, when I went for my inspection, and that's one of the reasons I went for my inspection, is to see the execution of what we had committed to, that step had been taken. The second area and the most important area of the bottleneck in the critical path of passengers passing through the airport is the security check. And there the problem is really not Nidhi or CIS staff. The problem is that we do not have enough lines for security check. The number of lines that we had were 11 for passengers and 3 for crew and specially abled. We mandated on the meeting on the 7th that by the time I come on the 12th for a surprise visit, which was not expected, we must grow that number to 16 in total for both passengers as well as crew. On the 12th when I went, we had 16 lines in place. So we had an increase of almost close to about 20% in our capacity of security check-in. The third area and then we had a meeting for 3 hours at the airport. And we identified the following steps that need to be executed on a very strict schedule and timeline. The first step that I said is we need to have usherers outside the entrance gate. So that if Nidhi Razdan is traveling and gate number 4 is totally clogged, the usherer should be able to tell Nidhi Razdan, kindly go to gate number 9 because that is clear. How will the usherer be able to do that? I said set up a command and control center within the airport that monitors through video feed the crowd at every gate so that the usherer can be told by walkie-talkie from the command and control center where they should push the passengers to enable free passage. That, I'm glad to report to you, has been in place from the 12th of December night, the day I mandated it to happen. The second step that I said must take place is that above every gate, you must have a digital TV screen that shows the queuing capacity and the queuing waiting time for every gate. So if I'm a passenger, that's right. So if I'm a passenger and I go to gate number 6 and there's a 20-minute queuing time and gate number 11 has only a 2-minute queuing time, I'll immediately go to gate number 11. That has been put in place on every gate. The third point that I mandated on the 12th of December was that if you recall, there's a Naka almost 1.5 kilometers before the airport where cars slow down and there's a barrier and a security check. I said put up a huge digital screen at that Naka as well, so that if Nidhi Razdan is traveling, when she reaches the Naka, she knows which entry gate to go to. So there's a warning sign in advance as to which is the best entry gate to go to. That has been put in place as of yesterday.